Ready to take a new trip? Wondering where? Take a trip into the grasslands, the African savanna, the beautiful place that we all know that Lion King was filmed on. So let's take a trip. Let's discover a new place and get going.
Here's some adaptations for living in the savannah.
Say what?
You want to know how these animals survive in the savannah? Well, here's how they do it. The cheetah is the fastest land animal in the world. Reaches speed up to 70 miles an hour. Giraffe, tallest one, goes up to 19 feet. Able to go out without water for 19 days. Lions, perfect camouflage with grass. Able to sneak up on you and eat you. Zebra, super duper fast. Goes up to 45 miles an hour. Ah!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Matthew Gowey. I'm here to talk to you and give you some knowledge from me to you. First, I'm going to tell you about elephant grass. Elephant grass edges are very sharp, so do not touch it, or you could get a boo-boo, or even worse, bleed, which probably you're going to bleed and get a boo-boo. Second is Bermuda grass. It can reproduce quickly and is able to grow in poor quality. Also, it is a pioneer species. Second, gum assacea. It lives through long periods of droughts. It also has fire-resistant thorns, which allows it to be a pioneer species because it can grow after fire. Now, think about this. Learn about this. Acknowledge this. I'm Matthew Gowey. Make it a great day or not. Choice is yours.
Are you planning on visiting the Savannah Desert soon? Well, you should learn the food web. Then you can learn the circle of life. Now introducing Dr. KP to break it down for you.
All right. On the first level of the food chain contains the producers, also known as the pioneer species. It contains mostly the acacia tree and Bermuda grass. Above the producers is the second level. It contains the primary consumers, including the giraffe, impala, termites, and zebra. Above the zebra and those other animals, it contains the secondary consumers, which is mainly the hunting dog, wildebeest, and baboon. Above them is the fourth level. It's the tertiary consumers, which contains the cheetah, leopard, and lion. Above all of them is the scavengers, which is mainly the vultures and hyenas. The vultures and hyenas mainly go through and eat the leftovers of what other animals have left after they're dead or after they have been killed. At the bottom is the bacteria. Like the fungi, it breaks down the decomposers and turns it to the nutrients for the soil. And that's the food web.
Want to learn about the habitat of the savannah? Well, mainly it's grassland. Animals live in the grassland. They use it as cover for their adaptations. They use their advantage of the grassland. The grassland is very dusty. It does not have very good soil for the fact that its precipitation levels are very low when it comes to rainfall. Here you see that in the background you find that the grass is burnt looking, dead. The facts probably were that a fire went through here a few weeks beforehand, and it left all this grass looking burnt. For the fact that fires happen in the grasslands due to pioneer species come in very often, and it always goes through succession because that is how it keeps producing the grassland. So the grassland has a lot of fires, so that way it can stay healthy. And as you see, there's a cheetah laying in the grass they use their surroundings as their shelter, their living, their hiding. They use their resources. So as you see, there's the cheetah, but also you can't see the soil isn't very fertilized, so most of the soil is very dusty, very hard, and the rodents live in there, the insects, and the snakes. The snakes are very important because there's a lot of snakes in the grasslands due to the fact that it is a good environment for their living. And that's the environment of the grassland.
Can you get scientifical with me now? Over here we have the animals that you recently saw on the food web of all their scientific names, such as the Panthera leo, otherwise known as the lion. Over here you have the plants that weren't on the food web earlier, such as the Bermuda grass, the elephant grass, the gum acacia, and the baobab. Underneath you get their scientific names. They go along with the primary consumers the Bermuda grass.
Ah, the grassland. What a beautiful place. But guess what? It's not beautiful when you make everything in there freaking extinct or pollutionized or something happened to it. Because guess what happens? It gets environmentally endangered. Yeah, and that's your fault. How does it make you feel? Not good. Say it to the lion. As you see, even this elephant right here is becoming extinct because you keep trying to kill it and sell it, and then guess what happens? No more elephants, and then what are you going to do? You're going to cry because it's all your fault. And then you're going to pollutionize the area they live in and make it even warmer for them. How is this lion going to live with all of this fur? It's not. It's going to get too hot, it's going to cry, and guess what? You're going to kill it. You're going to kill it good. So how do you like that? You don't. So don't go in there and ruin these habitats for these animals. So here's some thought. Stop killing these animals. Let them live a little bit, and let their tusks stay on their bodies. And let the pollution be downsized. Because guess what? It's killing these animals. Thank you.
We have simple relationships. They have symbiotic relationships. What's the difference? Let's find out. You got mutualism, for instance, when both of the organisms benefactor in a good, positive way, such as the acacia tree and an ant. An ant lives in the leaves of an acacia tree, and then when a predator comes to bite the acacia tree, the ants go into its mouth and bite it uncontrollably. Then, that provides a place and a home and food for an ant and protection for the tree. Then you have the hyenas and the lions, where the lions will attack a food and leave the rest of the corpse for the hyenas to finish off, vice versa if the hyenas get it first. Then you start off with commensalism, where one benefits, but one does not factor at all, such as an oxpecker on an elephant, eating the insects off of it, or a bird on a giraffe, also eating the insects off of it, most of the only commensalism that occurs in the savanna desert. Then you have parasitism, the one where one benefactors, but the other one faults, such as when a tick would attack to an elephant, sucking the blood out of it. The animal, as in the elephant, loses the blood, but the tick gains a meal. Or the hookworm, which is very interesting. It gets inside, such as a hunting dog, and somehow gets it, or you can be born with it. It gets inside the small intestines and continues to reproduce controllably until it is done, and then it finally eats its way out, causing the hunting dog to die. And then those are the three symbiotic relations. Thank you.
Looking for some good climate? Maybe you should go to the savanna grassland. There's 2 seasons in the savanna grassland. One, there's the winter. That's the dry season. And in the summer, number 2, is the wet season. The temperature varies all year round from 68 to 86 degrees. In the summer, it's more of 78 to 86. In the winter, it's more of 68 to 74 and above. During the seasons, normally in the wet season, there's 10 to 15 inches of rain or precipitation, and in the dry season, there's about 4 to 5 inches of rain. So altogether, there is not that much rain, which produces not that much of fertile soil. So humidity should run low when there's not a lot, and they should run high when there is. Thank you, and that is the savanna grassland. So think about visiting when it's the dry season.